It's way too early to be sitting in front of these lights. Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are doing another YouTube Hyped It. This is my monthly series where I test out a product that has been super duper hyped on YouTube, and I basically try it out. Last month, I tested out the overly hyped P. Louise base in the shade Rumor 2. I will link that in the cards above as well as down below in the description box for you to check out, and you can go see whether I thought that it was worth the hype or not. Today's video is going to be all about this little, well, I should say big sponge, the Sonia Kashuk sponge, which I bought mine from Target. I don't know if that's the only place that you can get it, but as always, I will link this down in the description box for you to check out for yourself. These sponges retail for $7, but you can get two for $10 if you do get the 2-pack. I myself purchased the 2 blender duo. I used one on a friend when I was doing her makeup, but I have never tried it on my face. But now it's time for me to test it out. So if you want to see that, make sure you keep on watching. Alright, so now that we're a little more close and a lot more personal, on the back of this little like carton thing, it says 2 surfaces, which I'm guessing is the bottom and the sides, allow for flexible application and blending of concealers, highlighters, contours, and foundations. Use the pointed tip for targeted concealer and coverage in hard to reach areas, and the flat bottom to buff and product for a smooth, seamless finish. They recommend that you use the blender wet to prevent excess absorption of product and also to allow for a more sheer coverage. Alright, so basically it works like a sponge. I have this little water bottle here. I'm hoping I could just spray it to get it damp. I'm starting off with some primer. I'm going to use the Olehenricksen Banana Bright Face Primer, and I'm just going to put that all over my face. Oh, I forgot I already did my brows. I'm tripping. I need some spring glow. Alright, and now I'm going to take this Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist and spray it on my face. I have never used this as like before my makeup application, only after, but I love this stuff so much. So I'm trying it out using it as a primer too. I'm using the Born This Way foundation in the color Chai today. This is one of my favorite foundations. So the Sonia Kashuk sponge is privileged today because I'm using products that I already love and I use on the regular. And this is how I apply it, so nothing fancy on this end. I'm just going to take the bottom and blend it out. Okay, right away I can tell you that the size of this sponge makes it a lot quicker of a process to kind of get your foundation on. The Beauty Blender is smaller, so it takes like more dabs to cover area. But that can be an issue if you are a brows before base type of person, as I am, because as I was attempting to get in between my brow, I was like, wait a minute. I had to really take my time in that area because it is so big that I could ruin my brows if I wasn't careful. But I appreciate how little time that it took for me to blend this out. This sponge isn't stiff at all. It feels very squishy. Or what is that? Flexible? Squishy? I don't know. It feels very soft to the face. It doesn't hurt. Like, well, I'm not going to say it hurts. But those, what are those called? Those Beauty Blender eggs from Beauty Bakery, them things are they're a little tough. It's like you taking some jabs when you use that sponge. But this one is not like that at all. It's soft and I like the coverage. I normally try to blend out my contour with a brush instead of a sponge because sponges are so big and they spread product around. I'm not gonna put too much because it's gonna spread. By the way, this is the Loreal Infallible Full Wear More Than Concealer in the shade Espresso. So we're going to proceed to blend that out with the Sonia Kashuk sponge. I went very light, as you can see, because I don't need this all over the place. Now I'm using the back to try to blend the foundation in with the contour. I think this did okay for contour. I still would just prefer using a brush because I feel like I could be a little bit more precise with it, especially because this blender is so big. But that's okay because I don't even use my beauty blender to blend out my contour, so not upset at all. It did a pretty decent job at blending out the contour. And now I'm going to go back in and lighten up my face with a lighter concealer. I'm going to use the Colourpop No Filter Concealer in the shade Dark 42, which I could have went lighter with this, but alright, I'm rotating my blender around to a clean side to blend out the concealer so that the darker concealer doesn't get like mixed in there. Look up, Marlon, say cheese. So many people here on YouTube use this brush, but the most convincing to me has been Andrea Renee and Thomas Halbert. They both like have basically raved about this daggone sponge, but I see why. Same process. I'm going to use the bottom to go ahead and merge everything together. That's the highlight, the foundation, the contour, everything. The everything. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do here with this sponge is apply some setting powder. I'm using the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter powder in the shade Banana. It doesn't mention on the carton any powder products. It says contours, highlighters, what else? Foundations and concealers. So this is not necessarily what it says that it can do. But as you all probably know, sometimes I use my beauty blender for setting my under eyes when I want it to be more full coverage, and I use a brush like this to apply when I just want like a little light tap, a little light coverage. But for the sake of trying this to its fullest potential, I'm gonna go ahead and apply some powder with that. Now I dab the powder in, and then I like to do this because I don't want to look too cakey. And she wipes. So far it looks like she blends out very nicely. So I'm going to dip real quick to finish out the rest of my face, and then I'll come back to apply highlighter with the sponge since that's what the sponge says she can do. And yeah, we'll finish off with that. Alright, so I'm back, and as you can tell I already have some highlight on. I realized I don't have any cream highlight, so how the heck was I about to put powder highlight on this sponge and try to get it to work? No, not today. So everything is on and done, and this is basically the final look. If you want to know what I've used on my face outside of the products that I showed you, everything will be mentioned down below in the description box. So make sure you expand that so you can see what all I'm wearing. So final thoughts about this sponge. They was right. They was mother right. Yeah, this sponge performed flawlessly in $7, really $5, because I bought 2 for the 10, and I would suggest that you do the same. Don't let these companies rip you off. If it's 2 for 10, that's 5 each. Save up your coin a little bit and get the 2 for 10, because it'll be well worth your money. You won't have to clean your sponge as much because you have 2. I'm definitely going to pick up some more of these. And yeah, you know you're supposed to replace your sponge after every so often. And doing that with a beauty blender is like tough. That's just 20 bucks. Like, girl. So this is a great alternative. Like, this is the best, like, affordable sponge I think I've used. And I think it's just on par with the beauty blender, if not better. The size of it can be a pro or a con for you depending on, you know, how you like your blenders. It doesn't pose too much of a problem for me. I am a browse before base girl. So yeah, getting, you know, precise with this is very hard to do, but I can work with it for $7, for $5. Definitely something that is not overhyped on YouTube. I think this is totally worth the hype. I'm going to get more. It's bomb. If you did like this video, make sure you give me a solid like. And if you want to see more videos like this one, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, all that jazz. And I will see you guys in the next one.